Hello. I got a challenge today, and I love my challenges. Yay. Okay, so Timothy Dale of Arizona asks, how do we maintain a connection with our kids when all the world's technology is placing us in a position of isolation? Okay, love the question. Okay, first off, I think a lot of people are scared to tell their children no. And there are definitely times when I know as a kid, I was really mean to my parents, and I made sure they knew that I thought I knew everything. They still told me no, and obviously, to be honest, I don't think they told me no enough in certain things. But I was also a very unique and independent soul, even back then. So, um, I would say the answer is multifaceted. One, uh, learn to say no. Two, redirect. Okay, so your kids want to watch a movie, or they want to be on Facebook, or they want to play their video games, they want to play on their DS or their PS2. Oh, is that the little one from Sony? Is that a PS2? Okay, well, their little handheld game systems, whatever it happens to be, they want to play, and it's very isolating. It keeps them from being companioned with other people and involving themselves with other things. Now, I don't know a child on this earth who wouldn't get a kick out of something unique like going to a farm, going to a zoo. Find out what their interests are and go after them with your kids. Go to that museum, go to that play group or session at the library that they have. Find what your kid is interested in that isn't video games or isn't internet and take them to see it. If we start late, that's really difficult because then their interests have evolved to being pretty solely that video game or whatever. But there's also some kids who might be interested in dance. And then do the food thing. A lot of kids don't like certain foods, but you can do the same thing with your activities as you do with your food. And this is my rule, is that if my kids don't want to eat something, I say, okay, you have to take one bite. And then I, I get them to take one or two because usually the first one they've just fought it. And they're like, I don't like it because I don't want to like it, kind of thing, rather than not liking it because they generally don't like the taste of it. So I'll make them take 2 bites. But the activities is the same concept. You can actually say, hey, you know what? Why don't you take this dance class? Take it 1 or 2 sessions, see how you like it. Go to I think you're getting my gist. I hope you're getting my gist. But find an interest. Help them discover interests they didn't already have. Teach them to write, to draw, to find something creative about themselves. If they're math or science nuts, study math and science with them. What kid doesn't like to mix vinegar and baking soda? Who do you know who doesn't like to do the water and cornstarch thing and feel the mushiness of that awesome, not quite solid, not quite liquid product? There is so much out there for kids to enjoy. I think a lot of parents have used technology as a means of not having to deal with their children. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people are doing because emotions are difficult to deal with. And it's just so much easier to give in. And if you start giving in from birth, oh, heaven forbid that they cry a little bit. And I mean, as toddlers and then kids, they're learning from what you're willing to give them if they cry long enough. Just saying. Okay. So I would say, how do we reconnect with our children? Say no. Find out what interests them and pursue it. And then this is a really important one. This is a really big one. Don't just say no because you want to say no. If you have a legitimate reason for saying no, tell them why. And let them come up with an alternative solution. If I don't want my son playing with scissors, I'll tell him it's because I don't want him cutting his clothes or his sheets or his hair or whatever. And he'll say, oh, I won't do that. I was like, okay, well, I hope you won't do that, but why don't we instead let you cut at the table, and then I know you're just cutting on paper. And you're like, oh, okay. tell them no, and don't push away their ideas for a solution. You're helping them have cognitive thinking. So you've got my answers. I think that's pretty much it. If I think of something else, or if you have an answer for it, please share it with us. Okay, again, the question is, how do we maintain a connection with our kids when all the world's technology is placing us in a position of isolation? So there you go. I hope that makes a lot of sense. And more challenges would be appreciated. You guys are great. Have a wonderful day. A wonderful night. It's late. Sleep well.